Bob Babcock, 11253 3rd Avenue. At the last board meeting, I said I would wait until after the administrators reported the board comments before commenting on the agenda item regarding videotaping board meetings. I guess at this point, there really isn't much need to argue about whether we need live video or taped. Also, as Mr. Steinbrink pointed out at the last meeting, I'm completely wasting your time being here. The extreme comments regarding this issue make it obvious the board really doesn't want the meetings on TV anyway. At the last meeting, you made it fairly clear you really don't even want the few who come to the board meetings to be here, so why on earth would you want meetings more accessible to other people? What truly disturbs me, though, are the comments made by the board regarding police video cams. How dare you use the police department, especially you, Mr. Serby, as a political tool? I looked at the approved budget, which was unanimously approved by this board. You spent enough money on improvements for our parks to put 5 police video cams in each car. He told us about how 2 slain officers, killers, were put behind bars because of police cams, but we couldn't afford it in this year's budget. All this just to kill televising these board meetings. This board has shown a complete lack of respect for our police department, and they deserve your apology. Out of principle, I will not bring up videotaping these meetings until the board does allow the police department to purchase video cams. However, we all know that had nothing to do with it.
There are no more signs.
Anyone else wishing to speak on citizens' comments? Hearing none, I'll close citizens' comments. Move on to item 5. Administrator's report.
Nothing tonight.
That moves us on to item 6, new business for retired meeting.
Item A, that to receive the Planning Commission recommendation to consider ordinance 08-19 for zoning text amendments, and this to amend sections 420-119K, parent 4, for zoning ordinance related to operational standards, and section 420-119D, parent 1, parent C, of the village zoning ordinance related to conditional uses in the B2 community business district. Jean?
Mr. President, members of the board, the zoning text amendments that you have this evening before you come as a result of an April 23rd, 2007 Village Plan Commission approved resolution to initiate zoning text amendments to re-examine certain types of outdoor storage for gasoline stations in the B2 Community Business District. The Plan Commission last year on May 14th and May 29th held some public hearings to discuss the possible amendments to the text of the B2 district. These discussions focused on safety issues related to outdoor placement of LP gas cylinder cages and ice storage containers. The issues that were raised by the Plan Commission are as follows. Number 1, the potential for vehicles to crash into the LP cages. 2, the potential requirement of protective bollard installation for LP cages. 3, the potential hazard of an LP cage fire or explosion. 4, the placement of LP cages and ice containers. And 5, the safety of employees who have to go outside to unlock the containers. Let me just take a step back that, again, this item was before the Plan Commission 3 times already. But the situation is we have received a number of requests from gas station, convenience store owners in the village of Pleasant Prairie to have some minimal outside storage. The outside storage would be for ice machines or ice container storage units, as well as LP storage tanks, and be able to sell those to the public. So what the staff did was we went around in Pleasant Prairie and those areas that were proximity to Pleasant Prairie in the city of Kenosha and identified all of the different stations that we had and convenience stores. We identified what type of parking that they had in front of their store, and then we continued to take aerial we obtained aerial photographs and we took pictures to identify exactly who was in compliance and who wasn't in compliance and where these particular units were located. So I'm going to go through these pretty quickly for each of the stations that are in Pleasant Prairie. State Line Sitco, down at the state line at 12720 Sheridan Road. They have a pretty clean site. We actually just did the liquor license inspection. What we did notice is that they had one ice machine or storage container that they have on the north side of the building. No other type of LP or other ice storage was present. The next we looked at was BP Connect at 10477 120th Avenue. Again, they have a pretty clean site. These photos were taken last year, 2007. But what we did notice is that they also have added an ice storage chest on the south side of their building. They have some pallet storage, which now is inside the building, that they're not allowed to have any other outside storage. The next was the U.S. Kenosha Truck Stop, or Phillips 66. This is at the intersection of Highway C and I-94. This actually was just recently purchased, or is being purchased by the Wisconsin DOT. So this station is actually going to be relocated, but they did have an ice storage as well as a number of other things outside of their building. The next was Pantry 41 Citgo, and this is at 7511 118th Avenue. They have a pretty clean site. They do not have any ice storage or LP storage outside of their facility. The next is PDQ at 8800 75th Street. They have no outside storage of any type. They are one of the companies that did request to have LP and or ice outside of their facility. The Truesdale Mini Mart, located at 8531 75th Street, has both ice and LP storage currently. Again, most of these that have these types of facilities, they shouldn't have them, but they have been requesting actually for over a year to have it made legal by ordinance to allow these types of uses. But for the most part, our uses have been pretty clean in Pleasant Prairie and following the zoning law. The vacant station at 4417 75th Street was just recently leased. They previously had an ice machine out there. This was the previous owner. Not too much of anything else on the site. And then finally, there's a mobile station at 4503 75th Street. This is actually closed. So even though it looks like there's some activity there, anything that's there at the station now should all be removed because there is no occupancy at this location. And in fact, we just recently sent out some notice to them to remove the drums and the tires and anything that was left after they vacated. My assistant Tom also put a chart together identifying all the ice storage containers and the sizes at all of the different facilities. And I'm just going to run through them. They vary in size, shape, location with every facility that we've looked at. What we did find out is that they're pretty much a needed location for storage of ice. Their freezer space inside their stores is limited, and since we are just north of the state line, a lot of people are stopping to get gas and ice in the route to their destinations. Also, we looked at LP gas storage. Tom put together a chart that identifies which areas currently have these types of facilities. Again, he's noted some of them in the city that are in proximity to Pleasant Prairie and what they look like. They come in all shapes, sizes, heights, locations. So the amendments that you have before you that the Plan Commission did recommend at their last meeting, the amendments propose for no more than one ice storage container and no more than one liquid propane or LP gas cage per gasoline station, convenience store, property as a permitted use in the B2 district, which would mean that it does not need to come back to the Plan Commission or to the board for any further action once the ordinance change goes into effect. As the ordinance currently states, no other outdoor storage or displays of material, merchandise, vehicles, etc. is allowed in the B2 district, except as may be allowed with a conditional use permit. The ordinance that the staff drafted is in your packets. All of the concerns that were originally addressed by the Plan Commission and the public hearings that they held are addressed within the ordinance with respect to not having these ice machines or LP storage in front of any windows or doors or exits, that these units need to be set upon adjacent to the building, and they must have either a raised sidewalk or bollards or something protecting the LP storage tanks from being run into. And then they address maintenance of these types of storage containers, addresses the number,